January 8, 2021, Outsmarted, Florida. A computer operator at the town's water treatment plant stares at his screen. His cursor is moving, but his hand isn't on the mouse. Someone else is controlling his computer from somewhere far away. The cursor clicks through folders, opens the chemical control panel. A number starts climbing. 11,100. It's the sodium hydroxide level. At 11,100 parts per million, it's not water anymore. It's poison. Enough to kill every person in town within hours. 15,000 people are about to turn on their faucets. The operator reaches for his mouse. The screen goes black. Connection lost. Did he stop it in time, or is the poison already in the pipes? When investigators trace the attack, they discover the terrifying truth. This was just a test. And the hacker who did it? She's already inside 50 other systems across America right now. What happens next will change how you see your tap water. The FBI arrives at the Outsmarted water plant within 2 hours. They pull the computer access logs. Someone logged in remotely at 8:04 a.m. using TeamViewer, software millions of people use to access their work computers from home. Completely normal program. But someone used it to break into the town's water system. The logs show the intruder had full control for 5 minutes, changed the sodium hydroxide levels from safe to lethal. Then the connection dropped. The FBI checks the actual chemical levels in the water system. The operator managed to reverse the changes manually before any poisoned water reached homes. Town saved by seconds. But that's not what keeps FBI agents awake that night. It's the question nobody can answer. Why did the hacker stop? They had 5 minutes, could have killed thousands. Instead, they changed numbers, then seemed to just leave, like they were proving a point, testing the system. The FBI traces where the connection came from. It bounces through servers in Germany, Ukraine, and Poland before vanishing into Russia. Classic intelligence agency routing. This attack happened entirely online from thousands of miles away. The FBI starts making calls. Has any other water treatment facility experienced strange remote access? Computers acting weird? The responses flood in over the next 48 hours. 47 different water plants across America report similar incidents in the past 18 months. Brief moments where cursors moved on their own. Chemical control panels opening and closing. In system settings changing then reverting. Login records showing access from IP addresses nobody recognized. But here's the part that terrifies investigators. In 41 of those 47 cases, workers never reported it. They assumed it was their IT department checking things remotely or their supervisor logging in from home. They had absolutely no idea foreign hackers were inside their systems. The Department of Homeland Security realizes they're staring at a national crisis. America has over 50,000 water treatment facilities. Most are in small towns with budgets barely covering basic operations. They can't afford cybersecurity experts. Many still run Windows XP, an operating system so old Microsoft stopped supporting it in 2014. Passwords are things like password 123 or admin or literally just water, sometimes written on sticky notes next to the keyboard. Remote access is wide open to anyone who knows how to use TeamViewer, and someone definitely knows how to use it. The FBI expands the investigation beyond water systems. What they discover makes the Outsmarted attack look like a warning shot. Power grids in Texas showing unauthorized remote logins in December 2020. Natural gas pipelines in Louisiana with unexplained system access. Emergency alert systems in Kansas, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. The systems that broadcast tornado warnings and amber alerts. Traffic control systems in major cities. Hospital computer networks. 911 dispatch centers. Someone has been systematically breaking into everything that keeps America running, not stealing data, not causing damage. Just getting inside, verifying access works, then leaving, like testing locks before a robbery. The FBI estimates over 200 critical infrastructure systems have been compromised. They can't shut them all down because they don't even know where all of them are. Because whoever's doing this is smart. They don't leave obvious traces. They slip in, confirm they can access the system, and slip out, waiting for something. February 2021. The hacker makes their first mistake. In one intrusion, they used a VPN, software that hides your internet location. Most VPNs don't keep records. This one did. The company, based in Switzerland, cooperates with U.S. authorities. They hand over connection logs showing the same user accessing multiple American water systems over 14 months. The FBI traces those logs to an apartment building in Moscow. The surveillance photos show a woman in her 30s entering and leaving at times matching the cyber intrusions. Facial recognition identifies her. Victoria Dubranova, 34 years old. She's not Russian military. She's a contractor working for Unit 29155 of the GRU, Russian Military Intelligence's Cyber Warfare Division. But here's what makes this story genuinely frightening. Victoria isn't some elite hacker writing sophisticated code. Her method is shockingly simple. She calls small-town water treatment plants, pretending to be tech support.
Hi, this is Microsoft. We're seeing security issues with your system. Can you give me remote access so I can fix it?
And people just hand it over because she sounds professional, because small towns don't have IT departments to verify these calls. Mainly because the person answering the phone is usually just trying to help and do their job. Once Victoria gets access, she installs a backdoor, a hidden program that lets her return anytime without asking. She says thank you, hangs up, and calls the next town. She's been doing this for 2 years, town after town, system after system, building a network of access points across American infrastructure. The FBI can't arrest Victoria. She's in Russia, protected by the same government that hired her. They can't shut down compromised systems without alerting Russian intelligence they've been discovered. So they make a calculated decision: shadow her, track every system she enters, then quietly patch the security holes after she leaves without letting her know they're watching. It becomes an invisible war. Days or weeks later, the FBI finds them and secures them, but they're always one step behind. And every day she's finding new targets they haven't discovered yet. March 2021. Victoria changes her pattern. She targets a water facility in Kansas. But this time she doesn't just verify access. She downloads complete system blueprints, showing exactly how the facility operates, where backup systems are located, how to disable safety controls. The NSA intercepts the data transmission through routine surveillance of Russian intelligence communications. The FBI realizes Victoria isn't just mapping access anymore. She's preparing for actual attacks. They brief the White House on potential scenarios. If Russia activated everything Victoria's team has positioned, they could poison water in dozens of towns simultaneously, cut power to major cities, disable 911 systems so people couldn't call for help, broadcast fake emergency alerts causing mass panic, and they wouldn't need sophisticated cyber weapons. Just the simple remote access Victoria established using weak passwords and human trust. April 2021. The FBI makes the difficult decision to go public. They release an urgent advisory: Russian intelligence has active access to U.S. critical infrastructure systems right now. They name Victoria Dubranova specifically, show her photograph, charge her with conspiracy to commit computer fraud and attempted mass poisoning. The advisory tells every water plant, power company, and emergency service in America to change all passwords immediately, disable unnecessary remote access, and audit systems for unauthorized entry. The response is chaotic. Small towns panic. They don't have cybersecurity experts on staff. Some shut down all remote access completely, crippling their own operations. Others hire expensive consultants charging thousands of dollars to perform basic password resets. But the fundamental vulnerability remains. American infrastructure was designed for convenience, not security. Nobody imagined cyber attacks when these systems were built decades ago. And now Russia is weaponizing that blind spot. May 2021. Victoria disappears. She stops accessing U.S. systems entirely. Her Moscow apartment is abandoned. The FBI initially thinks Russian intelligence pulled her from operations after public exposure. But that's not what happened. Victoria got promoted. Her techniques worked so effectively that they made her a trainer. She's now teaching 30 other GRU officers to replicate exactly what she did. The attacks don't stop. They multiply exponentially. New hackers appear in FBI surveillance, accessing systems Victoria already mapped. Using her methods, the FBI traces them to facilities in Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kaliningrad, all GRU operations, all following Victoria's playbook. She didn't just hack American infrastructure, she created an industrial-scale training program to hack it systematically. June 2021. A California water plant catches an intrusion and reports it immediately. The FBI investigates and discovers software Victoria's team installed 7 months earlier. Software sitting dormant the entire time, giving Russia complete control whenever they choose to activate it. The FBI removes the malware. Then they find something worse. It had automatically spread to 3 other water facilities in neighboring counties, all connected through the same regional network. The FBI realizes Victoria isn't targeting random isolated systems. She's attacking interconnected infrastructure. Breach one facility and automatically access others linked to it, like falling dominoes. And American infrastructure is riddled with these connections. Power grids share networks. Water systems communicate. One intrusion cascades into 10 more. July 2021. Congress convenes emergency hearings. The FBI director testifies that Russian intelligence maintains persistent access to multiple critical U.S. systems currently. A senator asks what everyone's thinking. If they're already inside, why haven't they attacked? The answer sends chills through the room. They're waiting, pre-positioning for future conflict. If diplomatic relations collapse or military confrontation occurs, these become weapons. August 2021. The FBI relocates Victoria. She's in Belarus now, operating from a GRU facility near Minsk. She's evolved her tactics. She's compromised over 1,200 American home Wi-Fi routers. When she attacks infrastructure now, the connection appears to originate inside the United States, not Russia. Dramatically harder to detect and trace. In 2 months using this method, she breaches 23 new systems, never damaging anything, never stealing information, just ensuring she can return whenever Moscow orders. September 2021. Victoria makes her second major error. She targets an Ohio water facility that upgraded security following FBI warnings. They installed intrusion detection systems. The instant she accesses their network, alarms trigger. The FBI receives real-time notification. They trace her connection through a compromised home router in Michigan. A regular family completely unaware their internet is being weaponized for cyber warfare? The FBI seizes the router for analysis. They discover Victoria constructed an entire clandestine network using ordinary Americans' home internet connections. Over 1,200 routers nationwide secretly serving Russia, all camouflaging her attacks. October 2021, the Justice Department files additional charges. Cyber terrorism. Conspiracy to damage critical infrastructure. If ever apprehended, Victoria faces life imprisonment. But she's safely in Belarus under Russian protection. She'll never be arrested, never stand trial. Everyone understands this reality. That's precisely why Russia continues deploying her. The FBI adds her to their most wanted list with a $5 million reward, but it's theater. She's in Belarus. Everyone knows her location and activities, and nobody can stop her except continuing to find her intrusions and patch them. November 2021, a private cybersecurity firm discovers something that transforms the entire threat landscape. Victoria's malware contains an automated timer. It's not waiting for manual activation from Moscow. It's programmed to trigger automatically under specific conditions. If the infected system loses connection to Russian command servers for more than 72 hours, the malware activates autonomously. Meaning if Russia's ability to control these systems gets disrupted through sanctions, counter-cyber attack, or war, the malware triggers automatically. Any water plants would dump toxic chemicals. Power grids would shut down. Emergency systems would fail, not because someone in Moscow pushed a button, because the system is designed to activate if Russia loses control. It's a dead man's switch, and it's already embedded in dozens of American systems. Russia built a doomsday mechanism into American infrastructure. Only they know where all the components are hidden. December 2021. The FBI issues urgent warnings to infrastructure operators nationwide. Simply deleting Victoria's malware isn't sufficient. It must be carefully neutralized without triggering automatic activation. Requires specialized expertise? The FBI offers assistance, but there's a catastrophic problem. They don't know where all of it exists. Victoria compromised hundreds of systems over 2 years. They've located only a fraction. The remainder are still embedded, waiting silently, primed to activate under the right conditions. America's infrastructure has been transformed into a ticking bomb. Only Victoria and Russian intelligence know where all the explosives are positioned. Today, Victoria continues operating from Belarus. The FBI monitors her when they can. She's still breaking into US systems, still installing malware, still building Russia's ability to shut down American infrastructure with one command. The FBI has stopped dozens of her attacks and secured hundreds of systems, but they estimate she's still inside at least 50 facilities they haven't found. The battle continues every day. She searches for new ways in. Defenders try to stop her. Sometimes they win, sometimes she does. And now nobody knows the real score because her victories stay hidden until Russia decides to use them. Victoria proved that American infrastructure isn't weak because of technology. It's weak because people trust too easily. Because small towns can't afford real security. Because convenience mattered more than safety. She weaponized that trust. Now she's training others to do the same, teaching them to spend years breaking into American systems, building invisible weapons inside the infrastructure keeping America running. The water you drink, the power in your home, the 911 system you'd call in an emergency, all potentially compromised. Because one woman proved the deadliest cyber weapon isn't sophisticated code. It's just getting inside and waiting. Victoria beat American defenses through patience. And she's still inside right now. You aren't waiting for orders that might come tomorrow or never. But either way, she's there.